Hello there! We are going to see an example of the concepts that we have seen so far when it comes to integration. Today we are going to try to calculate this integral we have got right here. This basically is a primitive, and at first glance it seems quite strange and complex. As soon as one sees it, one could start to tremble with fear as we struggle to approach such an integral. It is important, when we face this kind of function, in which at first we might not know how to solve because it is not immediate, or because we do not clearly see that it is a pseudo-immediate, that we calm down and analyze the function one step at a time. First of all, in this case, the radical, which indeed makes the expression more complex and confusing, we can, as we already know, convert it into a power notation. That is why we can write this integral in this other way, where the second of the factors we have written as a power. And now we analyze the elements that are part of the new expression. We notice the polynomial 2x squared minus x plus 1, which is highlighted with green. We can write it as a certain function. Let's call it function of x equals to 2x squared minus x plus 1. And then we realize that it would have that function raised to 1 divided by 2. But on top of that, it would be multiplied by 4x minus 1. If we observe the function, then we now realize that when deriving f, we get exactly 4x minus 1. Going back to the expression, what we are actually working with is the primitive with the integral of the derivative of x multiplied by the function of x raised to the power of 1 divided by 2. And we know that it is a pseudo-immediate primitive. In fact, we do know that this is going to come out the function of x raised to 1 divided by 2 plus 1 divided by 1 divided by 2 plus 1 plus the constant of integration. And now, since the integral is already calculated, the only thing left to do is some subtle changes. Firstly, the 1 divided by 2 plus 1, which is 3 divided by 2, that alone can be further simplified, like 2 divided by 3 of the square root of the function of x cubed. And finally, what we have to do is to change the f1 last time. We replace the f, and we put the root of 2x to the square 2 minus x minus 1 to the cube, as it should be. And this is the primitive. The key takeaway from these exercises is that despite the occasional complexity of the function, it's essential to invest some time in analyzing it to identify any familiar elements. And when it comes to the simplest tool, which in this case is the pseudo-immediate, we should try to identify a function in such a way that its derivative is multiplying. If we identify said structure in which a function exhibits its derivative involving multiplication, and also happens for such function to have some kind of modification, we may expect to recognize then, with a high probability, some pseudo-immediate expressions. Well, this is all for today. Thank you.